Hello one and all, and welcome to part 2 of that sort of life after death sort of scenario here. And there's something I realised I didn't really touch upon on that last video, and I thought it'd be quite good to go through it. And this is all about heaven and hell. Heaven and hell, do they really exist? No, they don't. They do, and they don't. That's a really annoying answer, isn't it? In French, they say one person's heaven can be another person's hell. And I think that pretty much sums it up. That's why it does exist, but it doesn't really exist. So if you haven't seen the other video according to, sort of what life after death and what sort of like, what that is all about, go and have a look at that, because we're going to be exploring those concepts a little bit further today. So the way it was explained to me through the Akashic Library, and the Akashic Library is where we stock all our experiences collectively. So if you ever want to know anything about it, you just need to visit the Akashic Library, but you have to be very precise about what you're asking. I will be doing a separate video on the Akashic Libraries and how it works and how you can start activating it within you. It helps us to understand or gain knowledge at a greater speed, but it is in connection with our consciousness. But I'll do another video on that. So basically, when we finish this life, we stock all our experiences in the Akashic Library. And it's very simple. In your aura, on the right hand side, you've got like a book of all your lives. That, you fill it out gradually as you go along. It's not the same as the karmic block. It's just like the notes that have been taken down. The karmic block is all about the moral implications, the good and the bad of the situation, although good and bad doesn't really exist. The understanding every angle of something. So we have this book that we gradually fill out, and then when we get up the top, once we've reviewed this life that we've lived, the last life that we've lived, then once it's all into place, then we can stock it in the Akashic Library. So being stuck in purgatory, okay, when we pass over and we go to a place that we might call the halfway house in a way, and that's where we review everything that we lived during this life. Now, if we're not prepared to look at things that may have caused us pain during our life, or we might have caused pain to others during a life, we will tend to revisit that thing perpetually. And that's where the idea of hell comes into place. Being in purgatory, repeating consistently the same thing over and over again. And, I think it was it Einstein said, or sort of, repeating the same thing and expecting the different result is a good sign of madness. And that's pretty much what it's like. It's understanding our role, the information that we can take out of the situation that we've lived, the pain that we may have caused ourselves or others, understanding every angle of that, the moral angle of it, the physical angle of it, the energetical angle of it, every sort of aspect that turns around that sort of situation. Once we can understand it, we can let go of it. Once the understanding is in place, we can let go. And that's what the initial stage is all about. And you could be stuck a little bit in that. So you may perceive it to be like hell in a way, and you will be pushed to your limits as a spirit within that. The saving grace is in the halfway house. We don't actually feel the emotions, because we need the physical body to do that. But I went into that in that first video, so you can again have a look at that. But what we do understand here is, say, like shame or elation or the sense of success. Yes, they are an emotional sort of state, but they're also tied into the physical world, as it were. So if you're not prepared, if you can't get past something, you're just going to keep repeating it. And as I said, you will get that sensation that you are stuck in hell. The moment we can get past that, and this is where the heaven and hell thing comes into place, because they're in the same place. They are the same destination. Everybody goes to the same place. There's no one that goes down below and someone goes up. The idea of hierarchy is a human conception. Once you get into the spiritual world, there's no one above you and there's no one below you. We're all on the same plane, regardless. And understanding that in this life helps us to evaluate everything that we do on a daily basis, so we are prepared that when we go over to the other side, we go through that review state very quickly and we don't hold back. And that's what I do on a daily basis. I try and evaluate what I've been doing in life. Let's get a thumbs up for that. What I've been doing in my day, and how it sits with me morally, emotionally, karmically from my pathway, what I'm supposed to be learning and everything like that. So I'm almost starting with a fresh page every morning, which is really nice, And when you start with a fresh page every morning, you can then explore and experience any emotions, any morals, any energies, any sort of physical sort of beings, in a sense of really being disposed to go into that idea fully and completely. Therefore, you can progress a lot quicker within your spirit, within your consciousness. And so if you can do that on a daily basis, when you go upstairs or go on to the next, go to the next world, as it were, your review is going to be pretty quick. And I think you're just going to be bearing witness more than anything else. So it will help other people that when they arrive, they can also see your point of view. So it helps them to sort of see the situation a lot clearer. There is points of question, because say like if I pass over before another person, I won't have their witness per se. I will have a good idea to see how things happen, and I could see their point of view a lot better, and it helps out. But obviously they haven't put their book into the library. They haven't updated their information in the library. So I can't really take the full information from there, but I can dispose my point of view, so then it can help other people as they come through after me, how they can sort of how they review their life. So once you can do that, and you can do that in a quick way, and you can move on, then you go through, I guess, the gates of heaven. And and the gates of heaven are guarded by Peter, is it? I think it is. And then obviously the gates of hell is guarded by Lucifer, apparently. And I think this is like it's like almost like Berlin back in the 60s, where there's the checkpoint Charlie, where you're going from one state to another state. And they're guarding that sort of those doors on both sides, and it's not the devil that says, okay, you can now go into heaven, and it's not Peter that says, okay, now you can come into heaven. It's basically sort of saying, have you been able to forgive yourself? Have you been able to review your life honestly? So you're not carrying anything. Your spirit becomes absolutely pure. And then when you move into heaven, the only thing that you will be engaging with is all the happy memories. This is why it's important to engage in life and realize that life is fun. It should be fun. It should be a joyous experience. Obviously, it's not a joyous experience for everybody at the moment. And in the future, we're gradually getting there. And as we get to the future where it becomes much more of a productive plane for everybody, other complications will be created because of that. It's just like going up a step. It doesn't mean that's it. We're not going any further. We go up to the next step, and I think that causes complications within itself that we have to deal with. And this is this whole idea of heaven, of once you've reviewed all the stuff that may have caused you pain, or you might have caused pain in others, that's the hell part. We go through that, we forgive ourselves, and as we discharge our book into the library, we are only surrounded by those good memories. It's like, for those people who have got children, when my kids were real kids, they're a lot older now, as you can well see, but when they were real kids, it was a case of, I used to watch them waddling down the road and going off and doing their thing, or playing football, or drawing, or singing, or dancing, or whatever they're doing. And I find myself in a state that I'm actually filming it and kind of going, I'm taking that memory with me. That's going to be part of my heaven loop. That's the sort of thing I'm going to be living in the future. It's going to be absolutely brilliant. And that's where, all of a sudden you've only got the beautiful memories that are left with you. And that can only be heaven. And that's when you get to a stage there, when you regroup your soul. And we'll go into, at some point, probably next week, what the difference between the soul and the spirit is, because it's very particular, and how reincarnation actually really works in a way. That's it's once you're in alignment with everything, and you're seeing all those beautiful sort of memories. At some point, you will be presented with a vibration, and you may well perceive it as being a colour or sound. I would have thought it's much more on the way it was explained to me was much more on a colour front. So basically, you're sitting in pure whiteness. You no longer got a body, so you can't really see your hands. You can sort of perceive it in a way within a mind's eye, but you can't really sort of see it like you can see a hand in front of you, and everything is white, so there's no depths. Everyone else is white, so you can no longer see anything or any spirits that are around you, or light, as it were. And it's like sort of like holding a candle up in the middle of the sun. You're not going to see the candle for the light of the sun. And this is the similar sort of thing. But the moment you see a colour, it's going to strike complete difference to the rest. And that's the vibration you wish to explore within your next life. And it's that peace you have in between one life and the other, which allows us to get, or it creates that enthusiasm to live a lover life. Because some of us, and I'll be first to put my hand up, sometimes life is not easy. And sometimes I kind of think, I ain't coming back here. And I have actually decided not to come back here. This is my last time around. And I think it's because I'm going on somewhere else. But, that's my perception of it. It allows us to sort of like be enthusiastic, kind of going, yeah, I want to live again. So living in the physical world. And we forget about all the trauma traumatic side of life that can be, given to us. And that's basically how heaven and hell works. And as through time, that gradually increases our consciousness. So as we go forward, we should be, as a collective, as a species, learning not to repeat the same mistakes of the past. And sometimes looking at the world, you kind of think, oh, I can't believe we're not progressing. It tends to go in big waves. And we're getting a big wave that is coming our way very soon. No doubt about it. And this is because every spirit or every soul is pretty much on earth at the moment. Heaven is emptied. All the souls are here to experience this change that we're going through. So if you want a good, easy review after life, I would do a daily review at the end of the day. When you think bad about the situation, say to your inner self, bring me back that thought there, or bring me back that action. I don't want to be like that. I don't want to think like that. It doesn't serve me. And you can stop that becoming a habit within your life. The moment you start doing that, that's when you can really elevate your consciousness, because that's the only thing that really elevates. You can't elevate your energy. Energy is energy. You can't, there's no better or bad. It's just energy. And there's no higher or lower in energy either, but there is a higher and lower in states of consciousness. And we'll talk about that on another video as well, or where the consciousness is found within our energy system, and how we can use that consciousness to explore life in a much more fulfilling way. But yeah, so every day, just putting yourself back to neutral point, and avoiding any sort of repetitive things in life just makes it a lot more productive and a lot more consciously evolving than just accepting and being stuck in that rut. Okay? So basically, there you go. That's how sort of heaven and hell works according to me. Or not according to me, according to what I've been told and what I've been understood. There's going to be more videos on like this. I hope you enjoy these videos very much. Share them across all social media platforms. The quicker we can all get on the same page, the better. We all will advance. So yeah, it really helps out sharing this video across all forms of media. Absolutely brilliant if you do that. Thanking you very much. Really do appreciate all the support you show through this system. I will see you for your tarot reading. Thursday night is earth signs, Friday night is water signs, Saturday is fire signs, Sunday is air signs. I will see you soon. In the meantime, don't forget, life should be fun, so please do enjoy.